Latina, Latino, Latinx. These terms include people from different countries, including Mexico, the Caribbean, and South America. Despite being native in the Southwest and California, Mexican Americans have long been viewed as foreigners and invaders and subjected to racist policies, including repatriation. After the US won the Mexican-American War in 1848, there was a rise in lynchings and other vigilante violence from 1848 to 1928. Unemployment during the Great Depression, combined with anti-Mexican sentiment, led to the mass deportation of up to 2 million people in the 1930s, 60% of whom were US citizens. Similar to Jim Crow laws, Juan Crow laws in the late 19th and early 20th centuries in the Southwestern United States denied service to Mexican Americans in restaurants and other businesses. Anti-Mexican racism fueled yet another mass deportation in 1954, referred to as Operation Wetback. Similar to other groups, Latinx history and perspectives are often erased from textbooks, are biased or inaccurate. Ethnic studies classes, which are an antidote to one-sided perspectives, are often the object of protest or targeted for removal. The media perpetuates stereotypes about Latinx, with its focus on border security and illegal immigrants. Hollywood portrays Latinas as sultry and feisty, such as the character Gloria Delgado Pritchett in the show Modern Family, or as maids, as in Maid in Manhattan, while Latinos are portrayed as either lazy, dashing lovers, criminals, or gardeners. Today, Latinx groups are once again facing rising prejudice and discrimination. Latinx people suffer from the same structural racism impacting other people of color, including inequities in income, housing, education, criminal justice, and healthcare. In terms of income, the Latinx to white wage gap has been 15% less for men and 33% less for women for decades. In 2016, the median net worth for a Hispanic family was only $20,720 per year. Poor quality housing in neighborhoods disadvantage Latinx in every aspect of life, including education, since cheap housing means lower taxes and therefore less quality schools. Latinx people are disproportionately impacted by a biased criminal justice system. They make up 23% of inmates, despite only being 16% of the adult population, in part due to racial profiling and the war on drugs, which targets people of color. Latinx have the highest uninsured rates of any racial or ethnic group in the United States. Due to this, as well as other underlying health issues, there's a larger presence of frontline workers and other factors, which have led Latinx people to be hospitalized from COVID-19 at a rate 4 times higher than that of white people. According to a Pew report, a majority of people surveyed say it has become more difficult in recent years to be Hispanic in the United States, and 38% experienced some discrimination in the past year, such as being criticized for speaking Spanish in public, being told to go back to their home country, or being called offensive names. This bigotry has even led to extremist mass shootings targeting Latinx people in Gilroy, California, and El Paso, Texas in 2019. You're Mexican, but you're smart. My whole life, I've been met with this response in both educational and professional spaces. I can trace these instances back to my youngest years and memories. The message that was being conveyed in that response was that as a Latina, my friends and my family were not worthy of resources, of people's time, of striving for certain goals. I was lucky enough to be part of a loving and supportive home, parents that had the ability to dedicate time and resources to prioritize my education, drive me to school, to club meetings and after-school activities, to live in an area with a decent public school system so that I could then navigate opportunities and resources available for my goals. But it took work. I had to work that much harder to prove that I was capable, to find mentors, advocates, and resources to support my path. Not everyone has this. I saw many of my fellow Latinx peers struggle and not have the support system to overcome barriers to opportunity. When you're part of a system where people consciously or unconsciously devalue you and your community, that carries profound, lifelong impact over the span of generations, where we continue to see it play out in unequal wages, job opportunities, educational investment, healthcare access. These statistics don't happen by accident. They speak to whom we as a society are willing to invest opportunities for.